The day after AnnMarie Young graduated from the University of Texas at Austin in 2021, she and her best friend moved to Fairbanks, Alaska for the summer. The 23-year-old artist lived in Alaska for 3 months before returning to Texas. But Young tells CNBC Make It that the moment she left, she knew she wanted to go back to the Pacific Northwest state. "Something in my heart just didn't want to leave Alaska," she says. "I wanted to prove to myself I could tough it out." Young used the money she made from selling her art that summer to buy a van that had already been converted into a tiny home. She packed up, headed toward Alaska, and after a week of driving cross-country she arrived. "I was going slow and taking scenic routes," she says. Young spent the summer of 2022 living out of her van, but when winter rolled around, she had a decision to make: either go back home to Texas again or find a different living situation there in Alaska. The artist eventually found a cabin in Fairbanks through word of mouth, but it did come with a catch. The cabin Young was being offered was a dry one, a residential structure without running water. The property did come with an outhouse. The owner, Mollie Sipe, a retired educator, 71, was renting it out for $500 a month. Sipe tells CNBC Make It she bought the cabin in 1988. It is one room about 10 feet by 20 feet with a bedroom nook. It includes a kitchen area with a stove and a microwave and a heater that runs on heating oil, which Sipe's always fills up before each new tenant. Young got to see the cabin from the outside, but never got to tour the inside before deciding to accept the rental. Fortunately, it all worked out just fine. It's not the dreamy cabin that you imagine, but it is really cute on the inside. It was very cozy and perfect for just me at the time, Young says. I had a whole section to do my art stuff, and that was the most important thing to me. Sipe started renting the cabin in the 80s, and her tenants have only ever been 2 women. A total coincidence, but a fact that Sipe loves. They always find the next person for me, and it has always been women. That's sort of the mystique of the cabin girls, as I call them. They have been very dependable that way, so I never have to look, Sipe says. It's a place for women to take a turn in their lives and jumpstart in Alaska, she says. It's just a way of life that you get to find out what you're made of, what you can do, and how capable you are. After rent, Young's expenses included 25 cents to fill up 3 5-gallon water jugs, something she drove into town to do every week and a half or so. Young admits that one of the biggest issues she had living in the dry cabin was access to internet. The cabin is surrounded by tall trees, which made it difficult to get reliable cell and internet connection. She even tried using Starlink at one point, but had to cancel due to inconsistent service.